place value is the value of a digit in a number. Raise your hand if you have heard of the word digit before. Okay, we might not know exactly what that is, so I'm going to do an analogy. What that means is I'm going to compare two things. So I'm going to compare the alphabet. Okay, we know what the alphabet is. You've learned all about the alphabet before. Those are the letters, right? In our alphabet, we have letters. So in our alphabet, we have our letters, and then we use those letters to then make words. Right? This is nothing new. Okay? Our letters are A through Z. There's 26 of them. You can kind of manipulate them around to make new words. You might not have known, but there is also a number bet. Similar to an alphabet, we have some letters, but we don't call them letters in the number bet. We call them digits. And they are the digits 0 through 9. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are all digits. Just like my letters, I can rearrange those digits to form numbers. So Aiden, you said what? There's no 10. Can I use the 1 digit and the 0 digit and push them together to make a number?
Yes. Wow. Number box.
So this is we have the alphabet, which we are used to. This is how numbers work. The number bet. We have our digits, which are 0 through 9, and we can use those digits to make lots of different numbers, just like we use our letters to make lots of different words. What's up, Cade?
Number bet on a computer.
Yes, 0 through 9. Doesn't that make sense?
It's actually 1 through 0.
Well, it's 1 through 9 with a 0 on the end, but yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep, Dorian, thanks for raising your hand, not yelling out at me.
So I just figured out is that they can both make something on the alphabet is letters, and then they can make words, and then the words can make sentences, and then the sentences can make a lot, and then it goes on and on.
Yeah, and we've looked at math sentences before. We just called them equations. Yeah, we got our numbers in there. What's up, Mason? We did that earlier. I want to mention some vocabulary. So we have what's called standard form. Again, some of this might be review for some of you, and that's fine, but I want to go over it so everyone knows the vocabulary. Sit up. What can I do for you, Hunter?
Do we have to write it?
Yes, if I'm writing, you're writing. Please stop asking me that question. Mason, will you close the door, please? Thank you. Standard form. This is regular number form. So if I have the number 26, it's going to look like this. 2 and a 6. If I have the number 134, it's going to look like that. Standard form is something that we use every single day. That's how we see our numbers. Nothing new. Okay? Is there a reason you're not writing yet? Thanks. Second form that we are going to be using numbers in is what is called expanded form. Raise your hand if you have used expanded form before. Good. Good. Expanded form is when we break apart a number, it's kind of like if we could take a magnifying glass and really see inside that number of what the digits actually mean. So expanded form is breaking apart a number to see the value of the digits. For example, if I had the number 26, we know what that looks like in standard form already. But does that digit, the 2, really just mean 2 things? No. What does that digit 2 stand for when it's in that spot? It's in a very specific spot, so it actually means something else. Willie Marie? It means 20. That 2 really means 20 because of where it is in the number. That 6 in 26 really does mean 6 because of where it is in the number. So all I have done is just broken apart 26, so I see, oh, that 2 in 26 doesn't really mean 2, it really means 20, and then my 6 means 6. Yes, ma'am?
What if it's the other way around, like 62?
All right, well, let's do 62. What does the 6 mean in 62? 60. And what does the 2 mean in 62? 2. It really does mean 2. What about our other expanded form? 134. Does that 1 just mean 1?
No.
It means something else because of where it is. Bria?
100.
It means 100. Does that 3 really just mean 3? Or does it have an actual meaning, an actual value? William?
30.
30. What about our 4? What about our 4? What does that 4 actually mean? Really? 4. It really does mean 4. This is really what our numbers look like. If I took a magnifying glass to our number, if I did number surgery to figure out what's inside our number, this is what I would find. Now I told you that this is really what a number looks like. You know how annoying that would be if I had to write that out for a really big number?
Yes. No.
That would be so much writing. So instead, we squish it down and we assign certain spots for our number. Does this make sense? We have, I know you have worked with hundreds, tens, and ones.
Yes.
You have seen that chart before, yes?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and draw it in your notebook. If you need a new space, please draw it on the new space. That's fine. Hunter, thank you for being patient. What's up?
Let's just write the hundreds, tens, and ones, like the chart at the bottom.
Yep, that's what I just said to do. So let's do some examples. If you have space out to the side, that would be really helpful. But if you've already drawn it and there's not enough space, that's okay. We're going to break apart. Let's do, how about 721? 721. Which digit is in the hundredths place? Which digit is in the hundredths place? Eric? 7. So that 7 really means 700. We've just smushed it down. Which digit is in the tens place? Kylie? 2. But we know that that 2 really does mean 20. What about the ones? Which digit is in the ones place? William? 1. So that one really does mean 1. I want you to put the following numbers in your hundreds chart just like I did.
Oh, I forgot how to.
Alright, we got 806, 519, 47. Put those numbers broken apart in the hundreds chart. How many ones do you need to make a 10? Dorian? I need 10 ones to make a 10. Write that sentence in your notebook and put a circle around it. Write that sentence, put a circle around it. You're going to need to remember that sentence. I know that seems silly now, but trust me. What? Write the sentence I just wrote and put a circle around it. Alright, awesome. Billy, question? Oh, no, we're not there yet. That's inappropriate. Get yourself under control. Alright, how many 10s do I need to make 100?
Ooh.
Think about your place value blocks, your place value pieces. How many 10s do I need to make 100? Riley? I need 10 10s to make 100. Write that sentence, put a circle around it. It's going to be important. Then I want you to write that bottom question underneath. It says, what do you do if you have more than 10 ones? While you're doing that, I'm going to hand out some counters. To write down that equation. If it's 27 plus 16, you can put equals box, equals L, doesn't really matter, it's just a spot holder. Not appropriate. Okay? Underneath that, I want you to draw a hundreds chart. It should not go all the way down the page. Maybe 4 lines-ish. Alright, now that we've gotten our hundreds chart drawn, we're going to make the number 27 with our base 10 pieces. What do you need to use to make 27? What do you need? What do you need, Grayson? You need 2 10s. Pick up 2 10s. 2 10s. I'm going to draw 2 10s. Just put them in your notebook where the 10s are. Here's my 2 10s that I put in my notebook. You have pieces. You're going to put them in the 10s column in your notebook.
So, like this?
What else do I need to build the number 27? What else do I need to build the number 27? I have 2 10s, aka 20. What else do I need, Gio? 7 ones. Count out 7 bits and put them in our ones category. Here is 27 drawn, and you have 27 made in your notebook. Alright, underneath that, we're going to make the number 16. What do I need to make the number 16? If you are still playing with pieces, you're going to have a hard time doing the next part. What do I need to make the number 16? William?
110.
110.
10.
No, you have not moved your 27. You're putting it underneath. That's what I just said. Problem solved, Kylie. All right, how many ones do I need to make 16? How many ones? Maria? 6. Go ahead and put your 6 ones. Here is my equation using pieces. I know you know how to add. We are going to start with the ones. Start adding up your ones. Once you have figured out your ones, raise your hand. Count up the total number of ones. Grayson? 13. Is 13 a digit?
No.
So I cannot squish 13 in the ones place, can I? So what do I do when I have more than 10 ones? What can I do? They don't go away. What do I do with those 13 ones? I can't squish 13 down in my ones column as my answer. Okay?
You could take the 10 and put it in the 10 space and then not put 1.
I don't have a 10. I have 13 ones.
But 13 minus 3 is 10. And then you have the 10.
I am going to make a trade. Just like going to the bank. Mr. Banker, sir, I don't want to carry around 100 pennies. I want to trade that for $1. Mr. Banker, sir, I don't want 13 ones. I want to trade 10 of them for 110. Can you give me 10 ones and I will give you a 10? That's a 10. I want 10 ones. All right, William's giving me 10 ones. Nope. Alright, I got 10 ones, and I'm going to trade him a 10. It's the same amount, it's just in a different form. Here's your 10. Now, do my 10 that I just traded belong in my ones category? No. I just traded that, and now my new tens rad goes in my tens column. How many ones did I have left over? How many ones did I have left over? Because I couldn't trade them all. Lainey? 3. Never mind, not underneath. I'm going to write my answer underneath. You don't write it down. How many 10s do I have now? Dorian?
4.
4. I have 4 10s. 40 plus 3 back in standard form is 43. So let's go back to the question I just asked you.
Where do you write that?
Let's go back to the question I just asked you. What do you do if you have more than 10 ones? If you are touching your counters, you are asking me to come take them from you. What do I do if I have more than 10 ones? This is the question I just asked you. What do I do if I have more than 10 ones? Gio? I make a trade! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Under that question. You're going to make a trade. 10 ones is the same value as one tens rod. They are just looking a little different, but they are worth the same amount. We are going to redo this problem you just did, but we're going to do it with expanded form. I'm going to show you how to use that. While pieces are great, stop touching them. While base 10 pieces are great, it is important that third graders can also use the number version of the pieces. Okay? So I'm going to erase my pieces, just like you moved your pieces. First thing we're going to start with is 27. If I break that number into expanded form, what does that number look like? What does that number look like? Kylie? 20 plus 7. You're putting this in your hundreds chart, just like I am doing here. That's what I just said. What about the number 16? How does that look? Hunter, you might want to pay attention, my friend. Lainey, how is 16 going to look in expanded form? 10 plus 6. Draw a line. 7 ones plus 6 ones. We just found out it's how many ones. We just did this problem already with our pieces. Hunter? 13. 13. Is 13 a digit I can squish in here?
No.
No. What do I need to do? Because I have too many ones to go in my ones place. William? I have to make a trade. I'm going to take my 10, and put it over in my tens column. I can't move all 13 because it's not 13 tens. I still have 3 left over. Now let's add up my tens rods that I have left. 10 plus 20 plus another 10. How many total tens is that, Willie? It'll give us a total of 40. So in expanded form, I have 40 plus 3. Well, what is 40 plus 3? Back into standard form. Billy? 43. So this is the exact same problem we just did, but instead of using pieces, we used our expanded form numbers. You should have a whiteboard marker, a really big fat one, and a tissue. Just make sure you have those materials. I'm going to show you how I want expanded form addition to look. This is what I expect on your homework tonight. Are we clear?
Yes.
Alright, the problem we're going to do today is 292 plus 336 equals box. Write that problem right underneath your name on your desk, just like how you see it. Now, the ultimate goal with our addition knowledge is not to have to draw pictures, is not to have to use base 10 pieces. We want to get used to using the standard algorithm. So we're going to set this up similar to if I was using the standard algorithm. So I want you underneath this, kind of in the middle of your desk-ish, we're going to stack this equation lining up our place values. You've seen addition look like that before. That is what we are going to do. That is eventually the goal. We're not going to do that today, but I want to show you how these are related. Alright, before, Kate, this is the whole following directions things that we've been struggling with. Before we can solve, these these numbers are in standard form. We need to put them in expanded form. So next to each each number, draw an arrow. And we're going to expand these numbers. So 292 becomes 200 plus 90 plus 2. 336 expanded becomes 300 plus 30 plus 6. Notice I've lined my place values up still. My hundreds are in line with my hundreds. My tens are in line with my tens. My ones are in line with my ones. Make sure yours are in line, because it's going to be significantly harder if it's not. Alright, we're going to start with our smallest unit. We always start with the smallest unit, which is our ones, because they're the easiest to trade. Do not start with your hundreds, because if you need to make a trade, it gets all kinds of wonky. So start with our smallest unit. 6 ones plus 2 ones. Can I do 6 ones plus 2 ones?
Yes.
Do I need to make a trade?
No.
No. What is my total of 6 ones plus 2 ones? This is not a trick question. William?
8.
8. Underneath that, I'm going to put 8. I'm going to put my plus sign because I'm keeping my answer in expanded form. 90 plus 30. What is 90 plus 30? Count on using your tens. Gio, what is 90 plus 30?
120.
120. I can't put 100 in my 10 spot. What do I need to do? I cannot put 100 in my 10 spot. Lily?
You trade for your hundreds and your hundreds and your 20.
Yes! Well done. Gia, what was 90 plus 30 again?
120.
So I'm going to put my 100 over in my 100s, but that wasn't all of my number. I still had 20 left over. So I'm going to leave my 20 that I'm not trading in my column, in my 10 spot. Put our plus sign. Let's add up our hundreds. I have 100 plus 200 plus 300. How many total hundreds do I have, Bria? 600. Before you are done, we need to put that number back in standard form. What is this number in standard form? Grayson? 628. This is expanded form addition. This is what I want you using tonight on your homework. Are there any questions about how we did this right now? Hunter? No. It comes off, and you will clean it. Any other questions about? Yep.
So, in the middle homework, like we do this, what if like the numbers, I don't know what I was going to say.
Okay. Nick, what's up?
What do we do? No.
We just are doing math on our desk. That's fine. Brianna, question about math.
So technically it's just this, like, what you're
All right. In addition to what I call naked number problems, which are just numbers that you add together. There's no unit. You're not actually solving for any kind of story. You are going to have story problems on your homework. Read this story problem in your head, and I want you to write an answer sentence underneath your name.
Wait, what on our desk? Yes.
Sentence. What could you have written on your desk? Aiden? Yeah, penny sold. If you have something similar but not exact, that's fine. Bags of candy. Here's our answer sentence. Before we can move on to doing anything else, what is the next step for solving a word problem? Bags does not have an apostrophe. It doesn't own anything. Okay? Bar model. Draw a bar model. It should not take up your entire desk. The first step in our bar model is what? I've only said it 100 zillion times, Kylie. Find the whole. I'm counting bags of candy. So do I know the total amount of bags of candy? No. So my whole is going to be question mark. But I know some things. What do I know? Lily, you're on fire today. Lily, what do I know? What's one part that I know?
178.
I know 1 week she sold 178. What's the other part that I know? Y'all, table 3 has every single hand up. They are killing it. Killing it. Hunter, what's my other part that I know?
244.
244. What equation goes with that bar model? Lainey? Keep going. 178 plus 244 equals box. That is our equation. We need to set that up with our expanded form. Find somewhere on your desk. We're going to stack our two parts, making sure that our place values align. And we're going to expand these numbers. You know how to put them in expanded form. We have our problem in expanded form. We're starting with our smallest unit, aka our ones. 4 plus 8, Grayson?
Is 12.
12. Can I smush 12 down here in my ones?
No.
No. What do I need to do? Lily Marie? Make a trade. What am I trading? A 10. I'm going to put a 10 over here. Did I have any left over? Yes. What was left over? Because 8 plus 4 isn't 10. I had some numbers left over that I could not trade. Bria?
2.
2. I had 2 left over because my total was 12. 70 plus 40 plus 10 is how many?
12.
70 plus 40 plus 10 is how many? Grayson?
12.
No. 70 plus 40 plus 10 is never ever going to be 12. Billy? 120. Can I smush 120 in my 10 spot? No. What do I have to trade? William? 100. Throw 100 over here. Did I have any left over? It was 120, and I scooched over 100. Did I have any left over that didn't get a trade? Spirit? What's left over? 20. Add up your hundreds. Lainey, what is our hundreds? 400. Put that number back in standard form. Put that number back in standard form, please. Mason? What is this number in standard form? Billy, I'm over here, which means you should probably be looking this direction. Yes, you. Bria?
422.
Very good. So she sold a total of 422 bags of candy during those 2 weeks. This, look at your desk. All of that work needs to be on your homework tonight. You have 2 word problems to solve. Take a good look at your desk. If you turn in homework tomorrow that doesn't have a bar model, I'm not going to be happy. If you turn in a homework tomorrow and I don't have expanded form addition, I'm not going to be happy. I want to make sure you understand where these numbers come from before we do the algorithm. Go ahead and erase.